Alright guys, welcome to the channel, and in this video let's talk about everything that you're going to need to do a manual swap on the W210 chassis E55 AMG. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so let's go over everything that you're going to need to have for the manual swap for the W210 E55 chassis, or just the W210 chassis cars. So first thing, obviously you're going to need the transmission. That's going to be from either the 2004 to 2006 Chrysler Crossfires, or from the Mercedes SLK 320s between the years of, I think, 2002 to 2004. The power ratings for the transmissions, from what I've seen on the forums, they've said that they do vary. The Crossfire transmissions can handle up to 270 foot-pound of torque, and the SLK 320s can handle 290. I don't know why there's a big variation between the torque numbers. I have no idea why, but the factor of safety in when they design transmissions is pretty high. So putting a transmission that's rated for around 300 horsepower in an engine that can produce about 350 to the wheels is a pretty safe bet. Most of the time, a lot of like BMW guys, when they tune their stuff, you know, they make way more power than any of their transmissions can handle, and the transmissions survive because they have a pretty high factor of safety. Besides the transmission, there's also a few other parts that you're going to need. Obviously you're going to need the pedals right here that come from either the Crossfire or the SLK. This is from the SLK, it has the AMG pedals, and the brake hose, the clutch line that goes from the master to the slave. It's not a direct fit. You obviously have to gonna modify that to fit the car, your car, and yeah, we'll see how much we have to modify this one once we start tearing the bends apart. Besides the pedals, you're also gonna need the clutch alignment tool to align the clutch. And talking about the clutch, you're gonna need the flywheel and the clutch kit. This is the flywheel from the damn, it's heavy. It's a dual mass flywheel. It's from the 2003 SLK 320, I think. From the Crossfires, you can only use the 2004 Crossfire flywheels, because from 2005 and 2006, I think they changed the bolt pattern for the crank, so that won't bolt up. So this is the flywheel that you're gonna need. Brand new, I think they're called the Fluke flywheels, and those cost about like $600, but like the old ones can be reused. You just gotta change out the pilot bearing, and that's the only thing I'm waiting for. It takes about a month to get it from Germany, so I'm still waiting on that. Besides that, there's the clutch and the pressure plate, brand new. This is about, I think, 350 to 400 from the various websites that I've seen. But the clutch that I had gotten with the transmission was already in pretty good condition. Like it has a lot of meat. If it's visible, has a pretty good amount of meat. So I was just gonna reuse this one, and I didn't want to spend the extra money to get the new one. Besides that, you're also gonna need the fluid reservoir for the clutch line. You're gonna need the rear main seal in the box, the rear main seal, and also the rear main seal plate. The rear main seal plate is a one-time use item, so whenever you replace the rear main seal, you also have to replace the plate. And this actually makes it super easy to install the rear main. You actually just like slip on the seal on this, and then put this into the the back of the block. There's also the crank position sensor in the back of the engine, and whenever the trans is out, it's like super easy right there. It's a pretty good preventative maintenance. There's also the drive shaft. So there's got to be a way to connect the transmission to the rear tires, and this is the front part of the drive. You can use either the Crossfire or the SLK front part of the drive shaft. They just bolt up to the yoke and then bolt this part to the transmission, and it should be good to go. They line up. And that should be about it. Oh, and another thing that's like super important. You can't use the stock cross member that comes with the automatic transmissions. So you have to find another cross member, and from what I've seen, the few people that have done this swap, the best cross member that works is from like the C230 2002. I'll post the part numbers for all of these in like the description. So it looks like this, and even this one you still have to modify it a little bit to be able to fit underneath the car and hold the transmission up. So that's that. And besides this, I'll go over the last part, which is actually the hardest part of the entire like build to find, and I'll go over that right now. The most important and difficult part of the entire build, the parts list to find, is actually the part that bolts up to the shifter. Right here. So 90% of the time, whenever you find a transmission on eBay or something like that, this is the shift force that connects to the transmission, you're gonna see this part empty, and the part that like bolts up to this with like a pin is the same part that connects to your shift knob. And this part is actually very crucial. You can drive without this, but you have a chance of going into reverse while you're driving. This is like the reverse lockout part that you pull out and push to the side and then back to actually go into reverse. So this is very important. This was very hard to find, because most of the time whenever you see a transmission on sale, none of them have this. These are either left in the car whenever they're scrapped, or I don't know, thrown away, I guess. But I'll show you guys how it works. So this goes right there, and then there's a pin that holds it, and then most of the time when you drive it operates fine, and then whenever you want to go into reverse, this part lifts up, and then you can slide into this part, into that wedge, to go into reverse. And then whenever you come out, it drops down, and then it's fine. Then whenever you want to go into reverse, this part like lifts, and you slide into the wedge, and then you're in reverse. This is like really important because you always see people like launching into reverse or something like that, and this is a great like preventative, and I wouldn't want to drive without this. Also, this get lower. The second part with this is because this transmission comes from like a Crossfire and Crossfire and the SLK, which are a lot shorter. The actual shift fork, this component, is too long in a way to say, because of this, like your shift knob is a little bit back, like about 2 inches back to where it's supposed to be. So some people, the person that like helped me find like the transmission, what he did is he moved the center console, or the only one other YouTube video that I've seen about this build, I'll post his like YouTube link when I post the video. And what he did is he cut the shift knob rod and he welded an extension. I'm either gonna try to do the same thing, or maybe I can 3D print a different version out of carbon nylon. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is it. And so like currently I'm waiting on the pilot bearing, and after this I'll start tearing down the car, and there'll be like more like parts to come of the entire thing. I hope this will be a pretty cool build. Thank you for watching.